Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It is time for that great day of the week called Tactical Tuesday, where we talk tactics, gear, and more. And the topic tonight is going to be one we talked about 4 years ago called Earthquakes, the Surprise Disaster. And so I'm here, and got someone in the basement. Got Mark here. Let me go over and click and say hi to everybody here first. All right, so Walt was in first, then Mother's Garden Club, then Mark came in, then Phelan Clan Wolf, Tammy Rebel Canners is here, Magic Acres is six-ish. Walt's singing us a song. I feel, yeah, I'm not going to sing it because probably even my lousy rendition would go, oh, copyright. Anyways.
I was tripping on that song.
Yeah. Kaylin Strain is here. Suzanne Galley, Geeky Gardens. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Utah Mike is here. Tooth by V is here. Diana 2 is here. All right. Just on something that Mark mentioned in the ad there. I mean, in the thing there. It says, if you exit the feed and click on it again, you get an ad. I've noticed that, yeah. Sometimes when I have to go out and come back in, I'll get an ad.
I got two ads on the last time because I clicked out of it because I'm on StreamYard on one window and I'm on YouTube on the other. So I totally exited the window, went back into YouTube, went back, clicked on it, boop, two ads.
Yeah. Here's an interesting fact, people. So I got two channels. So like the Gray Man Prepping one here, I will watch this live stream in 2 days on Camp Patton Family Compound. Why 2 days? Because I've noticed that when I do it 2 days later, I open it up, I'll get an ad right at the beginning. Then countdown timer goes. Countdown timer gets to about 4 minutes, and I get another set of ads. And then about just after I start saying hello to everybody, I get two more ads. For a 1 hour show, replaying it 2 days later takes at least 3.5 hours to go through it because of all the ads. So if you're going to be leaving, just say, I'm going to be gone for several hours. I'm just going to let it play. I'd appreciate it. It'll have all these friggin' ads. The one ad was an 1.5 hour ad. That one went well over 5 hours to play it.
Oh, gee, that wasn't an ad. That was an infomercial.
Yeah, it's an 1.5 hour infomercial. But there were several because I came back in. It was 5.5 hours. It was still going, and I went off and did something. I don't know when it ended, but yeah.
You get any credit for
it? I did get a couple dollars for that day.
You probably get more if you click on the advertiser and go add stuff to your shopping cart. No,
don't do that.
Okay, why?
Unless you actually go in and chat with them on their website from the ad, because they someone did that a bunch of mine, and I got dinged and I lost all revenue for a month.
Why? Because people were just clicking on it and then leaving it.
They go clicking on it. Okay, look at it, close it out, and people. I guess the advertisers were complaining that I had a bot doing it. And it's like, and hey, I can't control what people are doing. And these are haters doing it because I know you're going to do this. Why am I getting penalized? Because you allow haters to run rampant. Anyways, we got, let's see, Ferocious is here. Little and Prepper is here. Oh, yeah, and that's the bad one. When you see 30 or 40-minute ads on a 12-minute video. But some of the people I'm subscribed to, I'll click their ads and I'll click their videos when it's playing. I'll just let it play. Unless it's the second ad and it's one I don't agree with, then after 30 seconds, I will skip the rest of it. All right, so tonight, I got some facts that's going to surprise just about everybody in here. Let's get over to here and get in on this here. So as this map, you can see all the major earthquake activity. Now I'm saying major. Everything that's in, in the kind of the dark maroon wine color.
Say fuchsia.
Wine color.
Fuchsia.
It has had a 7.0 or greater earthquake in it. All right, 7.0 or greater in those winey colors. All right. Now, if you notice, there's a color for every part of every state. I wonder why. All right, let's go. Here we go. So magnitude scales. Some people don't really understand. You got a 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And generally, they don't rate anything above 10 because their equipment can't handle it. But in between, there is 1.1, 1.2. 1.1 is 10 times strong, has 10 times the strength magnitude of 1.0. So 1.2 is 10 times of 1.1. 1.3 is 10 times as, And so you figure a 6.0 is thousands of times more powerful than a 1. So can you imagine what a 10.9 would be?
Yeah. Level. Everything's just flat.
Yeah. All right. Now this is a chance prediction here. Chance of slight or greater damage earthquake. This is not a major one. This is just slight or minor damage earthquake shaking in the next 100 years. Everywhere has a percentage of a chance in the next 100 years. The blue is a less than 4% chance from what their studies are.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
But not impossible.
Nope.
And there are a lot of things that, you're not going to get one here. And sure enough, boom, pops up. They go, oh, wow, that's surprised. And it's more than slight. All right, so 7.4, 74% over here in the red. Yeah, we're expecting they get slightly damage shaking earthquakes every friggin' month there. So yeah, they're gonna a highway thing. They just had another 3.4 in the San Francisco Bay Area and a 5 point something down in Southern California. That's more than slight shaking, folks. Now, these blotches here of the purple and black, that's population density. And so, yeah, it
Did you do that? All right, now I just lost your audio. I don't know if that's me.
muted it automatically when it loses it.
Oh.
All right, so now we're going to go into some other serious type stuff here. If we get a 10.9, the party is over, folks. Wherever it's happening at, the party is over.
I know where you took that picture from.
Same place I took this picture from, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
All right. There's a publication out there called Putting Down Roots in Earthquake Country. And it says your handbook for the San Francisco Bay region. However, it's good for everywhere because, as it says, where earthquakes occur everywhere. Hey, did you know that New York City had a 5.2 magnitude earthquake in 1984?
Yeah, I lived up there then.
Did you know that Washington, D.C. in 2007, 8 had one? Because D.C. evacuated.
Well, it wasn't DC. The epicenter was in Virginia, which is, well, it was right outside of DC.
4 miles away.
Yeah, I was in Maryland working about, I don't know, 30 miles away from the epicenter. And I'm sitting in my van and I heard garage doors rattle because I was in one of those Quonset hut long thing. Everybody had a big garage door. And I heard doors rattle. But I was in my truck on rubber tires, so I really didn't feel anything. I was next to a highway. And I look up, everybody comes walking out of the building, looking around. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, you didn't feel that? I'm like, no, I was in my truck. I didn't feel anything. I heard doors rattle. That's it.
Now, here's the thing. It was not that great. I think it was like a 4 something.
There was enough to knock down like old chimneys and stuff on houses and crack things.
All right. In California at the Region 9 center there in Oakland, this federal building, we're looking at it and go, what? Why are you guys freaking out? That's not even a 5-pointer. And they decided to activate the COOP for the entire government.
Of course.
COOP is the Continuity of Operations Plan, which means Homeland Security evacuated their key people out to a remote site, got it up and running. Then everybody else went home or they went up there.
Yeah, Mount Weather.
Well, there's different ones. There's Mount Weather. There's Site R. There's Site W. There's Site X. And they went. And it was just like, why you guys? We had a 4-point something earthquake. I said, so that's a truck driving by.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like a train running down the tracks at the normal speed, like a quarter mile away. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
And they go, what is bad? I go, no, it wasn't. It was nothing. Did any windows break? No, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Stay put. I was on the phone arguing with guys for 2 hours. Finally, after several hours, they canceled, had everybody come back. Before they had all the sites up and running, I said, no, it was nothing. You guys are acting like stupid idiots.
And nothing's changed.
Yeah. But this you can get this publication for free off the USGS website. They have a bunch of other ones that you can about earthquakes you can download for free. Wow. Oh, not actually free because your tax money paid for it already. So you might as well get your tax money back. So I think that's the last one I got. Oh, okay. Oh, this is going to be part of tonight's talk here, where I make people rethink their geographical location. So, does anybody recognize the Mississippi River flowing up through this area here? And it's splitting off. You got rivers going up to St. Louis, rivers going on, it goes on up farther, and everything else towards Ohio and stuff. Yeah. The Mississippi River is a fault. I'm going to say it again. The Mississippi River is a fault.
Well, whose fault is it? I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Mother Nature's and Father Time's.
It's my fault. My wife will just say it's my fault.
And so these are the quakes around the New Madrid earthquake zone. Now down here by Memphis, I believe is it Memphis or is up here it's between Kentucky and Tennessee. You can't see it up here. The Mississippi River during the New Madrid earthquake back in 18, whatever the heck it was, shifted so much that it detoured the course of the river to another course and cut off part of one of the states and and so basically that part you have to get to it by going to another state. So, but yeah. Now, interesting thing is, do I got any others on there? No, I don't. So let me go ahead and drop that down. How many have seen maps of the San Francisco Bay Area? You got up here, behind me, right up there by the hand. It's just shown to hand by me. I mean, you may not be seeing it. So it's a long bay. It's called North Bay and South Bay. And for years, the guys over at USGS said, no, there's no fault down the middle of it. I kept saying there's a fault down there. And so I have friends and some of the guys over at the Roanoke Park office, which is in south of San Francisco and north of San Jose. Can't tell you guys are going to find a fault there, because if you look at where it hits the down at the San Jose side where it hits the wetlands, you go follow far right. So you guys start looking around these locations. And up in the north, on the North Bay, you go up and look at these locations, the wine countries. I've seen the fault line up there. You can see it driving around on Highway 12 up there. And one of the guys decided to go check it out. He drove up Highway 12. He goes, damn, there's visible evidence of a fault line here. We don't have it on our books. And they went down. They started doing some testing down in the other one, and they found it. And they brought out some deep echo stuff they usually use in the ocean and did echolocation stuff. And they found the fault line going right up the dead center of it. And so they put it on their publications and stuff. 2 years later, some mucky-muck politician told them to remove it. But on my one computer, heart backup drive, I have the update picture from their they put on like these maps and stuff. I have it showing that one, and it's numbered. It was 600 and something for the Bay Area. And so, yes, there are some people that don't want people to worry about they can't hide the San Andreas. They can't hide the Calaveras. They can't hide the Hayward Fault because everybody knows where they are because they see. But in underwater, they can't tell where it's at, so they're going to hide it because that would if that goes and that lifts in the water, you know what that's going to do, don't you? It's like taking a bowl of Jello and tipping it, or not Jello, a bowl of water and tipping it. Watch it go whoosh, slosh back and forth. Go up onto the shore here, wipe out everything on the San Francisco side. Oh, wipe out Oakland, Alameda, Hayward. On the other side, yeah. So they don't want people to panic. They want to lower the real estate values up there. And I think Miss Plastic Face had a big hand in that one, though I wasn't able to prove it. It depends on the type of earthquake it is, Lone Pepper. If it is a spreading one, like in Iceland where it spreads apart, yeah, it could drop down a bit for a while, and then it'll fill up and everything. If it's just a shifting one, it may crack open just a little bit at the top, but the bottom's still tight. You may lose a couple feet of water in the river. If it turns into a subduction one, where the one is pushing against the other that goes under it, you could get the lower on the one side. And no one that I've been able to find will come out and authoritatively say what type the Mississippi is. I have a feeling it's a combination, like up around Crescent City up to Alaska. So all along the coast of Oregon and Washington, Northern California. It's called the Cascadia Subduction Zone, but it's more than just subduction. Up there, they know it's subduction, but wait a minute, the continental plate is going south a little bit, and the Pacific plate is going north. So you're going to get a you got slippage, and you got the you have the Pacific plate going under the continental plate. So
it's slipping and diving.
Yep. And what's worse is when you get the subduction zone, so you got the plate, the continental plate, and the Pacific plate going, and it bends, the continental plate bends, and when it's bad, it's when it goes doink, and it releases. That's when Japan gets its major tsunamis from over here. And that was...
It was like 7-8 years ago.
It was before the Spanish started putting missions along the West Coast. Because if they don't have any records of it, all the records they have is the Native Americans talking about it. The day the gods got mad and the earth shook. So, and what's bad is when it popped, it forced all that water away from the Pacific coast. Well, guess what's going to happen?
Coming back.
It came back, and I'm trying to remember which river it is, the Klamath, or one of the ones up there. They're scouring up at like several hundred, like 300 feet up from the river right now. They're scouring, going several miles up the river where that water came in and just scoured the vegetation off the sides of the canyon. They just kind of scoured it clean all the way up and then washed it all back out. And the trees are just, it's not, you can see the line because it's heavy growth trees above it and sparse tree growth below it. Yeah, Canada would be affected too if there wasn't a Canada. Oh, Howie's right up there with the in the mix of it there on the island there where he's at. His hey Wayne, how's it going? Becoming dangerous as an flood. Yeah, that whole island's going to disappear. Either that or it's going to become a mountain. One of the two. So Wayne's here, becoming dangerous. So with the understanding the fault lines and stuff. So we're going to talk about California here first. First of all, the two most earthquake-prone states in the United States.
California and Alaska.
Number 3?
Hawaii.
I've
been paying attention there, teacher. Sorry.
All right. Now, the Loma Prieta earthquake was kind of nasty, but it would have been a lot worse if it had been on the East Coast. The reason is, you see all these friggin' red lines here? These red lines here are all the faults and stuff. And these are major faults, not the minor faults. Let me see if I can bring it up here.
We got the one running right up the Appalachians where the two plates are coming together because the Mid-Atlantic ridge is pushing apart. And, yeah, it's squeezing both sides.
I'm trying to bring this up over here.
We get the mountains, you get the earthquakes. Sorry.
We got mountains. Hey, the highest mountain in the continental United States is in what state?
Alaska.
Nope.
No, it's in Hawaii.
Nope.
Wait.
Southern California.
Are we talking from sea level or from its base?
From sea level up on land, because it's on land. It's not an island out in the ocean. It's on land.
But the tallest one is Hawaii, I think, where if it goes to the bottom of the ocean and up and
yeah. But let me see if I'm going to try to.
Hawaii's just the top of a giant volcano caldera.
Yeah,
it's going to blow, and there won't be anything left.
Okay, hang on here. I don't want to save. I got to figure out which one I'm going to. Prepping. There it is. I'm going to save it to that one folder. Make this one big here. Okay, so here we go. This is an example just of California. All right, so the red one here with the 22% on it here, that is the San Andreas fault line. Off here in the green one here is the San Gregorio fault line, and it goes up and merges up here. The Hayward fault is the orange one, and it's listed as 33% because it's 20 years overdue for its cycle. Continuing off the Hayward fault as its own fault is the Rogers Creek. Up above that, you have the Mamacama fault up here and kind of with 8% on it. You have the Calaveras fault with 26% running up here in purple. In blues, you have blue is a fragmented one over the side here. You have the Greenville Fault. You have the Concord Fault. You have the Green Valley Fault, the Baralessa Fault, the Hunting Fault. What's not shown here is they consider is running here between Greenville and Calaveras down here. That yellow line running the wrong direction, running almost east to west. There's another one. That one's got an 18% on it. And anyways, the Calaveras Fault, they show it ending here, and it doesn't end there. Calaveras Fault goes up here, up to Napa, up in this area here, and they're trying to break it off. But some people are, some of them aren't. Because up here where it says up in here, just south of the 11 here, it's supposed to go and continue on up there because there's faults going up there by the Buchanan Airport. Every time there's an earthquake of 7.0 or 180 degrees. Oh, sorry, I screwed up there. I froze. I didn't see it. So on this fault line here, there's an earthquake here. Every time there is one down at Vanuatu, 180 degrees across the Pacific from it, down there by New Brighton, the New Brighton region down there, north of Australia and stuff. Vanuatu, every time they have a 7.0 or greater earthquake within a week, there is a 3.0 or greater earthquake up here on the northern Calaveras fault line here. And it's not on where it shows number 11. It's over here where if it continued on up, instead of jogging there where my cursor is moving, you go straight on up there towards the Benicia Bridge. All right. So, and that happens every time. I have more steak dinners owed to me by the guys over there at the USGS at Roanoke Park. They stopped taking my calls. I had to text them. I'm not making a bet or demanding to collect on it. I need to talk to you about stuff. But yeah. All right. Now, here's what's different. So you got all these yellow ones, and then there's a lot more that don't even make the yellow map that are even finer. That one I told you that they got rid of ran from down here in San Jose, about where the O of San Jose is, ran right up the bay, right through the top of the word San Francisco Bay, on up, just clipped past the outcropping here by Mill Valley, and went up, and then was about 20 miles off about 15 miles off up into Santa Rosa, from the 50 miles off from the Rogers Creek Fault. So, and they took that one away. They just took it away. But the reason I said if the Loma Prieta, which happened down here by north of Half Moon Bay by Santa Cruz, right where my cursor is moving around there. If that had happened over on the East Coast, it would have been much worse, because this one over here was on the ocean side of the Hayward Fault. The San Andreas. The San Andreas Fault being a break, it didn't the shockwave didn't travel straight through. It hit it and it diffused it at the break. Granted, it still shook the crap out of San Francisco and Oakland, but when it hit the Hayward Fault, guess what? It dropped off a whole bunch more. And when it hit the Calaveras and Concord faults, it dropped off a whole bunch more. The northwest shape of the earthquake being felt was 3 times farther than the east-west, because all these other faults are, as it hits it, it loses strength as the give of each fault, because it's not a solid plate. If it had happened over by New York on shoreline, it would have been like the New Madrid Fault. It would have been felt to Chicago, down to Georgia. It would have been felt all over the place. And that's one of the things to consider, is that the plate system and the faults dictate how strong earthquakes are going to be. The New Madrid Fault rung bells in Boston and broke windows in Atlanta. Okay, you got that?
In where? Atlanta?
In Atlanta, Georgia. It broke windows. It rang bells in Boston. And of course, most people don't realize the New Madrid Fault wasn't one earthquake. It was a series of 3 major ones and a boatload of minor ones over a period of a couple of weeks.
I'm just waiting for the Mid-Atlantic Ridge to do something stupid and send a tsunami at the East Coast, and we're done.
It does stuff stupid all the time, but it's a different type of fault. Hang on, let me get this over here.
Latest but if there's like a large eruption or something underneath down there and it pushes the water up for that brief moment.
Yeah,
a fair amount.
Actually,
that's all we need. It's just going to.
It's the other way around. The other way around. The North Atlantic Ridge is not a compression or a subduction one. It is a separation fault.
Right.
So what will happen is if it jumps apart, water's going to drop in, and it's going to compress, and it's going to rebound back out a little bit. Nothing like another one. But let's largest magnitude first. Oh wow! I like all the red that popped up here. This only has, I got the past week set for the past week only on here. So the southern Tibetan place over in China that had a 7.1 today morning. This one here, let's go see what this one here. This is El Salvador, had a 6.2 on the 5th. Sandwich Islands had a 6.1. I don't know why they didn't turn that one red. Well, because it was so far out to the ocean and nothing was out there. I don't need to see that one. Yeah, you can see all the quakes that happen around the Sandwich Islands out there. A lot of quakes. Close that. Chile had a 6.1 up there near. Let me zoom out a little bit.
Hey, you keep talking about food. I'm getting hungry. Sandwich Islands, Chile. What's next?
Yeah. What's next? Ethiopia. Look what's going on in Ethiopia. And there are several of the space weather channels are talking this up big time. Because this is right on the fault line here. Let me back it out a little bit so you can see where the fault line runs here. The fault line runs from Yemen through there, around Tanzania, and back down here. This is the fault line where my cursor is going, if you can follow my cursor. This is a separating fault. It's the same type of separating fault that moved Madagascar away from because Madagascar is moving north by, it's moving east by northeast away from Africa. But these are the major faults. This is a minor fault line there. It's not even rated as a major one. The major ones are in red. There's your Atlantic Ridge.
Yeah.
One going up there. And see, right through the middle of Iceland, Iceland gets wider every year. Seriously, Iceland gets wider every year. But some of the examples. Okay, so this one here, that's the all right, that was the this big yellow one here, that was the 6.2. This big yellow here was 6.1. So the big you can tell by the size of the dots how big they are. This one down here was a 5.1 off of Easter Island. So, but you look here for the United States. Now I have to set for 2.5 or greater. It's not showing all the small ones, but yeah, there are. And then up here, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks ago, about the swarm that was going on here. Well, it's still having a lot of earthquakes. Yellow is more than 24 hours ago to the past 7 days. Orange is today. So today's was at 11 o'clock Pacific time this morning. This group here, is going to be the geysers. by Cobb. Yeah, there we go, guys. This whole area here is called, the geysers. Usually this has a lot more, but I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to change the settings here. All magnitudes. Oh! Did you see that change? Going from 2.5 or greater to all magnitudes, boom. And this red one here, that was half an hour ago. But yeah.
You don't even feel those. You kind of hear something. That's about it.
Yeah, you fear it. Some people can feel it without feeling it. They'll be there, and you can have them suspended in the air, and okay, I can feel the shaking. They just are attuned to the magnetic and electromagnetic influx from even these small quakes. Now, if I back this out at this high setting, let's see here. All right, so today we had a 1.4. We had a 2.1, 2.4 today. So those didn't show up on the normal one I have up here, which is that. This one here, yesterday, was a 2.9 on the San Andreas fault line. But yeah. So earthquakes happen everywhere in the United. Let me get a whole view and see what happens here when I go through the all magnitude. All right, you see that increase from that to that as I add all the lower. And let me scroll this down. I'm really going to blow your minds here. In the last month in the United States, wow, all the ones up here, which were not there. Anything over 7 days goes to white. So yeah, all the ones up here in New York, Maine, or Canada. That one's in Maine. That one's in New York. That one's in New Jersey. But, puny. Some of these are puny. But the fact is, that's earthquake country. I was looking at another map, and there were a whole, it was this summer, in the summertime, going through Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and the others. There were earthquakes there too, white ones and yellow ones throughout here when I had on 30 days all magnitude. Now, tell me, everyone, think about this on the sideline here in the side chat. You see where let me make this one a hair blue. All right, the dot I just made blue. Let me zoom in a little bit over here, a little bit on it here. There we go. See that one with the blue heading down to this one here that I made turn blue?
That's the St. Lawrence.
That's a fault line.
Yeah, it's the St. Lawrence River running between the Atlantic there and all the way into Erie.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think these are so low for these lakes? They're valleys caused by fault lines. I have got several guys at USGS to privately admit it. They'll say they'll deny it if I try to name them out. But they're all going, yeah, that's fault. I mean, that's fault lines up in there, ancient fault lines that have been active in hundreds of years. But and then where it is active under the water, it's just like usually during a winter storm. So all around the Mitten State is surrounded by a fault. Sorry, Tammy. Rebel Canners. You're surrounded by a fault.
She's in Minnesota. I thought she's in Minnesota. That's Michigan.
She's in Michigan.
I thought she was in Minnesota. Is she in Michigan? I don't remember.
Minnesota. I forget who's in Michigan. Who's in Michigan here? And who's in Minnesota?
I swear Tammy's in Minnesota, but
Because she drives over here to Ohio for the down here to Ohio to the summit.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
Yeah. All right. But for those of you looking, if you want to get this mapped out to look at it, you Google earthquakes last 7 days USGS, and it gives you the link to this. All right. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh,
Tammy
I got my
Carter is in
I got
Minnesota.
my Tammy's mixed up. I'm sorry, Tammy's.
Sutton Days is in Michigan. Yeah.
I know Corky's in Ohio, but
yeah. And so Tibor's in Ohio too. But you know, this one here, this is Chesapeake, Ohio had one, and this one here up here is Hicksville, Ohio. Hicksville. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do a Beavis Butthead Hicksville. Hicksville. Okay, sorry. Had to get it out of my system. Yeah. All right. Let me set this back to 7 days.
He said Hicks.
Right. Yeah. All right. And you can go in, and when you go to this, if you want, on this page, I forget where it is, somewhere down here, one of the settings or something, you can set it up so you get email alerts. And you can set the magnitude of your email alerts. My email alerts is 4.5 or greater for the US and 6.0 for the rest of the world. That's how I have on my other computer, I have a tracking sheet of all earthquakes 6.0 or greater. And I've been tracking it for 15 years. But so that's on this here for that. But yeah, you can just, you get it. It's let me put it this way to show you how to find it here. Just make sure. 7 days, earthquake 7 days. There it is, latest earthquakes. Boom. You can go in there, USGS, and you can save it. You can sign up for earthquake alerts. Let me pull that down because rid of that. Close that. Bring something else up here to show you. So there we go. That's my email. These are all the USGS emails I've been getting. If you notice, everything here is 6.0 or greater. And I'm still here I'm down to June of last year. It, 2024, 7.5 on January 1st in Honshu, Japan. I save all these. I track them all in my spreadsheet, and I know exactly how we're standing year to year comparison to what previous. Last year we were shy on earthquakes last year of great magnitude of 6.0 or greater. We also shy on 7.0 or greater. So I tracked on the same sheet. I use different colors on it to indicate. Hey Tibor, how's it going? So Mother Earth Garden Club is in Minnesota as well. So we got several people in Minnesota, several people in Michigan, and several people in Ohio. And guys, yeah, that's still earthquake country up there too. Not very often, but when it goes, it may be a 4-pointer, and it's going to feel to you. It's going to feel like a 5.5 or 6-pointer feels to those in California, because of all the fault lines in California. It diffuses it. But for you guys, there's not a bunch of fault lines to diffuse it unless you're up in the glove state, because you're surrounded by a big fault line. If someone's not on that fault line, that'll act as a diffuser. So like I said, earthquakes come without warning. However, suspicious observers. Come on, I just lost the other one. There are three others that are, they're tying in space. They're realizing that prior to an earthquake, there is electromagnetic anomalies in the area where one is going to go. Generally, sometimes an earthquake happens that they don't spot it till they checked all the directions. Oh yeah, there was a faint little signal here we missed. But yeah, they can. They're slowly getting to find the general area within several hundred miles of where a big one's going to occur possibly over the next week. And sometimes they can get stuff, and it's so deep, it's just it's like the piezo lighters where you push the button and two metals flex and they create a spark. Well, that's what the planet is doing from the pressures. And sometimes it can go and set off this electrical stuff and then slip and stop. It doesn't go all the way. Yeah. So what do you do to help your house become prepared for earthquakes? So I'm going to address the canning crowd in here. If you put your jars on a shelf, you really need to figure out some way of securing them. One of the things, and I forgot to mention it on yesterday's live stream, when all the jars we canned, when we cook, go back in there. These are the old boxes from back in the 80s and back when they actually had fold down lids on it. We'd put the jars in there and we'd put a label on the side of the box saying what was in there when it was canned. And so, yeah, people seeing that a lot too. Yeah. And that's what it is. It's yeah, 2XV put the proper name there. Yeah. And it's just and you're creating different metals and stuff in the earth, or rubbing and sliding and create the lightning.
Giant static shock.
Yeah. Here, let me rub 10,000 cats on my body here, and I will touch you.
Hold on. Let me rub two continents together.
Yeah. And so, so I put all our canning jars in froze. Some people just put them on shelves. Well, if you're going to put them on shelves, you may want to cut some cardboard and just put it between the stacks on the shelves so that the things aren't going inside. They'll still go hit front to back, but on side to side, they've got a little buffer between them. I tell some people put either a bungee cord around it to keep stuff from bouncing off the shelves, or if they got wooden shelves, put a 2 or 3 inch, probably like a 1x4 across the front, so it's sticking 3 inches up. Yeah,
and put some of that. You can get that rubber. It's like a rubberized shelf liner, so they don't slide. Because that's what they do. They slide. If it's just glass sitting on a wood shelf or on a Formica shelf or a smooth shelf, they'll skate right. They'll vibrate off like those old vibrating football games. Yeah, but if you put the rubberized mats down, that'll also limit the vibration as well. Just hang everything from a bungee cord. You have bungee cord food just hanging everywhere. It'll just bounce around and they'll swing at they'll swing together. They won't bang into each other. They'll just swing back and forth like pendulums all at the same time. The one of the problems people have found out, especially in Alaska and California, especially Southern California, where people like above the beds. Oh, let's put our big wedding picture up here. Put some family pictures above our bed or our favorite spots we want to go to, and they just hang them on a nail. Yep. Earthquake, bang, bang, down they come, and right on top of whoever's in the bed. Don't hang pictures above your bed. If you're going to hang pictures of your bed, go the extra mile, get the special brackets where you hook them up and they lock in, and has locks on the top so you can't take them out. You got to release everything to remove them. Oh yeah. Electrification. I was thinking about that before. Loma Prieta, one of the things of it, up through the Delta,
there are some of the viaducts in the Delta were shaking so bad that some of the that's on piers, some of the piers dropped, and so the roadway dropped through, and you had piers sticking up on the through the roadway in other sections. But yeah, and there was in New Madrid, there was sand volcanoes. Basically, the sand, everything just boiled up and it looked like the field was boiling, but and then it started building a little mound. You had just like a geyser of sand and water coming out.
Yeah, Mexico City, the whole city is in an ancient volcanic caldera. And if they get an earthquake down there, that's more, I forget what, more than an 8.2 or something.
It's gone.
It'll shake. Everything will just disappear.
Yeah, just vibrate down into the sand.
Yeah, it'll just blow up and the water will get mixed in real quick. And just like when you go to the beach and where I go, it's like really fine sand. And you put your hand, you can smack the sand, and where it's wet after the wave goes out and it hurts. It's like concrete. But if you shake your hand back and forth really quick, it just disappears down into the water, into the sand.
Yeah. So things to consider. If there's a window near your bed, you may want to consider getting that film that they put there that's supposed to stop burglars from breaking the window from the outside. Put some of that on the inside. That way, if the window fractures, the splinters are going to splinter outwards, not in on the bed. They'll just stick. The film will hold it together, but you'll still get splinters on the far side away from the film of stuff, projectile. Have slippers in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag under the bed with a flashlight in it. That way, if there's an earthquake, the power's out. Don't whip your feet out of the bed first thing. Roll over, find that bag, pull it out, shake any glass off it, whatever else. Put your slippers on, turn the flashlight on, put your slippers on, and then go around doing stuff. Let's see. There are a lot of things. I've done videos and stuff on both of them. I got an earthquake folder on Camp Patton, and I've got an earthquake folder here. There's a lot of things you can do. Just think, look around. If this house started shaking, what's going to come down? What's going to shake? There's museum putty. Museum putty is the knick-knack lover's friend. People have all those little knickknacks all over the shelves and stuff, little dolls or something else. Put a little museum putty on the bottom of it. It's like Play-Doh. And you stick it on there, and it keeps it from bouncing around. Moon over Miami. How's it going?
Ooh, big freeze. What's that, an earthquake?
Oh, that was part of me just reading the over here. Yeah, so there is, or like I said, earthquakes happen everywhere. It's not like people, I see this, and there's a reel of someone up in New York State, and she's cleaning all the snow off her car. I don't have hurricanes. I don't have earthquakes. I don't have hurricanes. I don't have earthquakes. As she's cleaning the snow off her cars, I typed in the thing. The last earthquake in New York was 5.7. And this year, the last one was last week. 2.7. Oh, by the way, you remember hearing about the Long Island Express? That was the hurricane that went up and just practically wiped out New York City, flooded everything, flooded Jersey, and it happens every couple of years.
It was sandy.
Yeah. And sometimes it comes inland farther in New York.
Yeah, sometimes it goes to the Carolinas, but we won't talk about that.
That too. But yeah, depending where it's coming from, they've had hurricanes come, right at Virginia and then turn north. It's been a couple of decades, but I can't remember which one it was now. Crap.
Right.
It got over to Buffalo.
I have trees I have cedar trees, 3 out of 4 now, that went through that when the house was built and I wasn't here. They're literally, the bases come up cockeyed at, like, I'd say from straight up and down, they're off by about 15 to 20 degrees for about 4 feet. And then they go straight back up again. All those trees got blown sideways. Nobody fixed them. They just let it go. and they all just went straight again. So they're all cockeyed cedar trees in my yard.
Oh, you mean they're future Home Depot lumber?
Yeah. Ready-made propellers. Ready to go.
Yeah. What I love, you've been talking about that, Moon. Back in the day, 1971, June 4th. Crap, I can't remember the guy. In June, there was the Sylmar earthquake. When it happened, they said it was a 7.2. 4 hours later, no, it was a 7.1.
Oh, they like the downgrade.
And 4 months, it was 7.1. Then it was about 4 months later, they reduced it to 7.0. And then 2 years later, they reduced it to 6.5. It's the man, the myth. It's Joe, Garden State Gardener.
What's up, Joe?
And, yeah, so there are and so like in California, I was 71 we were in Southern California, across the street from the Burbank Airport, living there when the 71 earthquake went. Northridge, I was up in Northern California when Northridge, but my cousins were still down there. I was working construction during the Loma Prieta earthquake and several other 6-pointers that went on around up there. If you look on behind me here, let me see if I can move which way. I need to move this way. Okay. Let me look at here. Okay, so this one here, 1999, October 16, 7.1, the Hector Mine. This one here, 1992, June 28th, Landers, 7.3. Yeah, California does get them, and they're not ancient history. Yet those were out in the desert, so nobody talks about them much. So, yeah, it happens everywhere. So I just want to let tonight. I want to let everybody know, hey, earthquakes happen everywhere. Like Tibor reiterated, everywhere is earthquakes. Earthquakes happen everywhere. When we get a whole bunch of people talking, saying hi to Joe, okay? That's why it all jumped. Yeah. Kind of like nature's road signs. All right. Moon was in Gilroy. All right, just south of the San Francisco Bay Area multiplex down south of that. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Thank you, Tibor, for reminding me of that. Other things that cause earthquakes besides plate shifts, fault lines. Volcanoes. Hawaii has a lot of it. Yeah, Hawaii and Alaska have a lot of volcanoes.
So does Yellowstone, which they actually took offline. They don't have any of the earthquake monitors going around Yellowstone anymore. They took them offline.
Yeah. The other thing is there is speculation, and from the scientists that are speculating it, they're trying to find proof that on either side of the Mississippi River, at some places were at one point some volcanoes, and they got leveled by the massive glaciers coming down. That's what they say. So I basically had little volcanoes there. They had one will happen and it'll be a slow flow volcano for a couple hundred years, and then it stops as the magma pools move. But
and all those calderas all over California, Nevada, they're everywhere.
Oh yeah. In Arizona, in an area they say, oh, this is their volcano-free area. You actually do the research. There is I'm trying to remember it because I've included this information in the one book I'm writing, the Scout and the Ninja. It's called Volcano Fields. It's on the east side of the state, and there's over 1,000 volcanoes there. The last one erupted like 150 million years ago. But you can see them, they date them. Oh, this mountain here, yeah, that's a volcano. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. All right, so let's wrap this up here, folks. Hope we give you something to think about. Check your own local area, see what's going on in your area historically, because if it's happened there once, it can happen there again. All right, so coming up, Thursday is the Midnight Ride at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Friday on Camp Patton Family Compound is garden items to salvage first in a end of the world as we know it situation. Saturday, back here on Grayman Prepping for Survival Saturday, sanitation issues before and after disasters. Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound is we're going to be talking about having a cooking library and what books are good for it. And let's see here. Next Tuesday here is how much power do you need? Okay.
How much what?
Power, electrical power. How much power do you need? Not, oh, it's great to have this. But how much power do you actually need to survive comfortably? Not luxuriously, not luxurious. Oh, all the power. All right, good. See, that's a good one.
Castle Grayskull. I have the power.
Yeah. All right. So those aren't getting notifications. Just write it down, put a post up, whatever. Monday and Friday, Camp Patton, 8 o'clock Eastern. Grayman Prepping. Tuesday, Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern. Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern. And all you need to, you can also find it in the description. I have it down. You just, look at it. Okay, just write it down and put it in your account or whatever. On my phone, I actually have for other people's lives. I've got it in there. Going live, Dr. Paula. It goes off 20 minutes beforehand to remind me to go get it set up on the computer, and I go do something else.
Yeah. If I can get my wife to unplug every stupid little power supply, constantly running these little lights and stuff everywhere, I could probably drop my electric bill by like a third.
Yeah. All right, so that's what's coming up during the next week. I want to thank everybody that's been emailing. Let me put it up here. Emailing me suggestions for topics. I'm now sitting out here. I've got topics filled up through, fully filled up through the 1st of March. I got a couple blank spots through March, and then I got a couple more blank spots in through April. And so, so I got some good stuff coming up here. So I want to thank everybody for, giving ideas, asking, hey, can you talk about this, that? Can you revisit this item? Can you revisit that? Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming in. And remember, don't let life get you down. All right. Stay safe no matter what you're doing. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, food, medicine, clothing. Learn a new skill every month. And we got the indoor garden challenge going on. And I gotta get, every time I try to do the video for it, the grandkids show up. Right now they're in the other room. Being quiet. They're being quiet. Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care. I gotta go check on the grandkids. Take care. I'm out of here.
If the car